Good morning. I decided that I was going to be a little more vocal moving forward, just to, in light of this different developments in my life. One thing that happened this Rosh Hashanah, I promised to Hashem that I would not complain anymore to people. As much as I could help it and control it, I would only complain to Him. Now, it's an interesting dynamic because it changes the natural conversation, whether it's negative energy focused or trauma focused or hurt focused, from dialoguing with another person to talking to God about it. Now, the thing is, because you're the only physical being in the conversation, it cuts through a lot of the redundancy, a lot of the semantics, even some of the emotional feelings that aren't really substantive to how you're feeling or what occurred. This has been a monumental change in my life. And as I made that decision, then situations seemingly started impacting me more, triggering a responsibility and a desire to talk to God more. One thing I can speak to is it's probably unlikely that many can understand that have not walked in the shoes living as an African American male. And I mean that specifically, one born in America, descendant of the transatlantic slave trade, whose identity has been derived via and since slavery in this country. The level of trauma that one has faced and continues to face every day simply by your existence is a burden that most have never carried and don't understand the weight and the magnanimity of said burden on one's mental state, emotional state, psychological state. Then couple in the stereotypes, whether that's, oh, you're black, you must be able to jump high, or you're a good rapper, you like chicken, you love watermelon, right? Any number of things that may seem nominal when said to a different group or a different type of people, but when your identity has largely been in question and you have the burden of carrying so much trauma that's seemingly unaccounted for, coupled with stereotypes, whether they're deemed to be positive or negative, that further may reflect on your sense of self, it's a heavy lift. Now, I found that in directing my life towards Hashem, I found identity and purpose that's helped me alleviate some of that burden that I carry, but it doesn't change the reality of knowing many of my brothers and sisters still carry the burden of their skin color, the identity, the challenges, the historical context to go behind that. And of course, my brothers carry the threat that is perceived to be being a quote-unquote black male. I encourage everyone to think of a quote that my father taught me since a child. Seek first to understand and then to be understood. Understanding others also is a segula to Hashem hearing, answering, and understanding you and your prayers. Not that He doesn't understand you, but part of understanding is an action. So for one to feel understood, there's things that happen or take place that give you that sentiment. I'm going to do a better job of communicating more and more with the topics and the themes that are on my heart, not really for any other reason, but if there's one or two people out there that can be encouraged or feel heard from me expressing similarity in my journey or context, I'm obligated to do so. The theme of these will be the time I almost gave up. So I want to finish this off with one of the times I almost gave up. I found that after the moments that seemingly are the most challenging, and I was perplexed as to why God would allow these things to happen, I then found an increased vigor, an increased strength, an increased hunger and determination to move forward. And I quietly said to myself, this is why God allowed that to happen. At minimum, I'm not the all-knowing one, so I can't speak to the divine wisdom of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but I can say that it's important to feel what you're actually feeling. It's real. And in doing so, you develop the opportunity to actually overcome and to make the most of that situation and experience. This week is Parshas Noach. I'm going to do better each day to incorporate the Aliyah for the day and the parsha for the week in my sharings. Appreciate your time. L'chaim.